Our first clip is pretty incredible. Watch as these juvenile Bigfoots absolutely show off for the camera. But look at them jump onto the trees, hang on the tree, bend the tree, jump into the container. I mean, these guys are having a blast. All caught on this trail camera. I mean, what do we think's going on here? This footage was sent in to Squatch Watchers, and from what I've heard through the grapevine, they have not been able to debunk it. And now the trail cam is just pointed stationarily towards this area. The owner says some weird things have been happening back here, stuff has been moved, stuff has gone missing, and he finally caught this on camera. Another interesting twist to this is that a commenter said these could actually be feral humans. And the more I watch, they look more human-like. Especially when they're crouched on the ground and they're about to make an upwards movement. I don't know, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this. I'm interested in a follow-up story to this, but if this is real, this is truly amazing. This next clip is amazing, and it comes from Bobby Wummer Photography. Check it out. These little creatures are using this board as a plank to get from one side to the other. We see a mouse, then we see a rabbit go back and forth. One time, Mr. Rabbit even takes a little dip, or an unintentional slip. As we keep watching at almost 3 a.m., the noise from the mouse scampering across the watery bridge brings some, shall we say, unwanted attention. Watch as the eyes of a gator come into the view on the left side of your screen. Yeah, you don't want him lurking around. Everyone stays safe tonight, but if you're following the time on the trail cam, a few nights later, we get some action. Let's watch. I mean, look how fast that thing is. Just unbelievable footage. Bobby Wummer does it again. I hope that didn't scare you guys as badly as it scared me the first time I watched it, but look how fast that alligator is. I mean, he snatched that possum and it was all over. This is just unbelievable footage. For those that don't know, skinwalkers are eerie shape-shifting spirits that hang out on cursed lands. They get the name skinwalkers because they're known to morph into different animals or even people by wearing their skins. And as it turns out, this particular part of Arizona, and the video I'm about to show you, is notorious for skinwalker sightings. A man, ignoring locals' advice, ventured into an area he was explicitly warned to steer clear of. The locals avoid this place at all costs. They said it's been cursed, and many people have reported bumping into these dreaded skinwalkers there. Nevertheless, our guy heads out, miles away from any town or city, and nothing happens for the first couple miles. But then he starts to hear a noise. He hears what sounds like a human voice calling out for help. Considering he's way out in the middle of nowhere, it's pretty unlikely that there's anyone else around him.
Hello?
And him, likely thinking what we'd all be thinking, he decides it's time to bail. Once he has time to gather his thoughts, he thinks that a skinwalker was trying to trick him by mimicking a human. Skinwalkers have been known to do stuff like this, basically luring the man deeper into the woods, following the voice, thinking someone needed help. I don't know. What say you guys? So picture this. You're looking at your security footage, not really expecting anything, and boom. You catch a glimpse of an almost invisible ghost-like figure just wandering around your backyard, like it's on a late-night stroll. For the person who posted this, it wasn't just a what-if scenario. They actually experienced it. After spotting the apparition, they started hearing all these odd sounds in the house, like creaks in the middle of the night. It left them pretty sure they'd caught a ghost on camera, and it seemed like this visitor had decided to make itself at home. And yeah, it does kind of sound like something out of a horror flick, but the homeowner insists it's real. As for me, if I take the facts, I've got some type of foggy figure wandering around my backyard on camera. I've got spooky sounds all over my house. I'm either going to lock everything up tight, or I'm going to a hotel. If this was my house, this is one of the times that I would wish that this was just a trick of the light, or that there was some natural explanation. The freaky part is, if there really was a legitimate explanation, it might never come. You might never know it. You're just stuck with that fear. This video has been making the rounds online for quite a while. It's a fascinating clip that's got people throwing around all sorts of ideas and guesses. Some people totally write it off as a fake, but others think it might be the real deal, like actual footage of a crashed UFO in Russia that somehow slipped out from top secret KGB files. The video kicks off with soldiers riding in a truck through a snowy landscape. Then it cuts to a bunch of guys huddled around this big disc-like thing. At one point, a couple of them lift something small and place it next to the larger saucer-shaped object. The whole time, whoever's holding the camera is capturing every move they make. No question that the footage shows something pretty shocking. But like a lot of these videos, it's gotten all mixed up with time and tons of guessing, making it really hard to figure out where it really came from. Whether you're totally into the idea of aliens visiting us or you're more of a doubter, this video is bound to grab your attention and even make you wonder a bit. Is this actually showing a downed UFO being recovered? We might not ever really know the truth, but I'm interested in what you guys think. This video's been getting loads of attention online lately, and it's pretty clear why. Apparently there's been a spike in what some are calling zombie sightings in this city. Videos are popping up of folks acting in some seriously weird zombie-ish ways. On top of that, there is a large group of pagans around that area, and some say it's really taking a dark turn on the place. Basically giving off a very unsettling vibe, locals say. The clip, which is now all over the place, looks like it just captures a random creepy chance meeting during someone's nightly walk. There isn't much background info, but that hasn't stopped it from blowing up on TikTok with tons of people mentioning how spooky the whole thing feels. And to me, the craziest part is that it is really freaky, even though not much goes down in the video. What do you think about this lady's eyes? I mean, I guess they could be contacts, but man, her whole look and demeanor is disturbing. And I think the lack of info and that there was no dialogue makes it all the more intriguing and pretty scary. In the end, for most of us, it's the not knowing that really gets the imagination going. Ever found yourself just accidentally stumbling into something ridiculous? Well, the person who uploaded our next video did just that. On an early morning stroll through the forest, a band of friends came across something extraordinary. We see an ape-like figure towering about 6 to 7 feet tall, dark fur positioned close to that tree, and embracing the trunk with its arms. You don't have to be a specialist in the supernatural to deduce that this might very well be a Bigfoot. But here's the intriguing part to me. The creature doesn't flee. Instead, it holds its position. And it even seems to make warning-like type gestures toward the people, which, according to all experts, is a behavior not typically documented in Bigfoot sightings. Capturing Bigfoot exhibiting such a bold stance is definitely thought-provoking. And of course now the burning question is whether this footage is real or not. I think skepticism is natural, but the thrill of entertaining the possibility that this might be real is a little more fun. Now this is a pretty quirky story from a lady named Julie Hogarth Williams who posted it on Facebook. She shared this picture where her two kids are just playing around, one reaching for the TV. But the real head turner is these spooky hands that seem to come out of the TV. Well, Julie's got a story to go with it. Her dad passed away when he was 52 years old, which was 5 years before her youngest child was born. She's convinced that the hands in the picture are her dad's, kind of looking out for her kids. While it might give some the creeps, Julie actually finds it pretty reassuring, given she's no stranger to this ghostly stuff. She pointed out her dad always wore this gold wedding ring, and sure enough, there's a ring on that hand in the photo. Many have said that they think the TV was just off and it was a reflection, but she swears that it is not a reflection. So, what's the deal? Is this a snap of a granddad keeping an eye on his grandkids from the other side? No matter what you think about ghosts and all, you've got to admit the story adds a sweet note to an otherwise spooky photo. It's one of those things that makes you wonder about all the stuff we just don't get. Personally, I think whether it's real or not, if it brings comfort, it's got its own kind of magic. A Bolivian river was the backdrop for a hiking trip that took an unexpected turn. While out and about, one of the hikers snapped a picture of another hiker. And when they got back to camp, they later noticed something downright eerie in the background of this otherwise normal photo. And when the image was posted, it didn't just make waves in South America, it went viral globally. People started calling it the alien from Tarija. Several respected ufologists and alien experts are diving into this, trying to figure out if the photo's legit. One expert even mentioned it looks like a real picture of a gray alien, but insists more digging is needed. Adding to the intrigue, this part of Bolivia is rumored to be a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity. Locals talk about alien portals in the area, and back in '78, a bunch of people reported seeing a weird aircraft crash, which many consider one of the most believable UFO incidents in South America. The US and Bolivian militaries even checked it out. Given all the alien chatter connected to this place, it's no wonder folks are leaning towards the idea that this photo might be the real deal. Do you think Bolivia is a hangout for extraterrestrials? Let me know in the comments. I'm all in. I'm caught up in the excitement of a potential discovery. A Reddit user known as Shivs33 reckons they might have snapped a shadow figure on camera. This fascinating shot was taken just outside of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The Redditor was out working on a beautiful night and decided to take a picture of the peaceful scene. But what started as a simple snapshot of a calm evening turned into something way weirder. In the photo, there's this eerie shadow that seems to pop up out of nowhere. Shivs was all by himself and didn't notice anything odd while he was there. But seeing this spooky figure in the photo afterward really freaked him out and made him hightail it out of there. Now, this peculiar photo has a lot of folks scratching their heads, trying to figure out what's going on. The whole thing happened in such a peaceful place, and the shadow figure shows up so clearly in the picture that it's got both ghost hunters and doubters talking. So take another look at the photo and let me know what you think. Do you think it's a real shadow figure? Or is there a simpler explanation? This next video is sure to get your heart racing. Alex McGregor had a hair-raising encounter while out hiking in Alaska's Katmai National Park. A massive brown bear starts trailing him off the path. Alex was with his girlfriend, and this intense moment lasts for a few minutes, the bear keeping a close watch on them just off the trail. But out of the blue, by the grace of God, the bear decides to turn and just walk away, leaving them by themselves. I'm guessing these two did the right thing because the bear didn't seem to feel threatened. But on a more important note, I guess she wasn't hungry either, because I have a feeling things might have turned out differently. Nevertheless, kudos to the quick-thinking hikers. Staying calm very well might have saved their lives. This next clip has really got people feeling uneasy. At first, it looks like it's just some regular old home security footage. The date is a couple weeks before Christmas, December 12th, 2023, and it starts like any other security clip. But right in those first few seconds, something weird happens. This odd shadow pops up out of the blue. What is that? Well, if you took a vote, opinions are split. Some people figure it's just a standard bug crawling across the lens, but others aren't so sure. They're pointing out that the shadow seems to have more of a human shape. So what do you think? Is this a spooky ghostly visitor? Or just a bug? Personally, I'll go with the mystery, but split opinions are what make these videos so captivating. Alright, let's take a trip into the unknown skies. In this video, a fighter pilot spots something that's pretty out of the ordinary. He captures this UFO just cruising along. We see the saucer shape that we're familiar with. The sleek and mysterious flying object sparks a whole lot of curiosity as it zips by the pilot's eyes. These types of videos always get me thinking. I know there's plenty of stuff we don't know about. And if it is really terrestrial, what's it doing here on Earth? Or, and this might even be more likely, is it part of some super secret project, maybe something like the whispered about Aurora Black project? I feel like I've got loads of questions, but no one to throw them at. And personally, I lean more towards the idea that extraterrestrial beings are real. I don't think they're just figments of our imagination. Next up, we've got a bunch of photos from a guy named Juan Gonzalez, who considers himself a pro in the paranormal realm. Well, he's convinced he snapped a bunch of shots of Bigfoot, and one of those is what you are looking at right now. In the photo, there's this large, two-legged, furry creature walking on 2 feet just like a person. And Gonzalez says if you look closely enough, you'll see Bigfoot's got a pig hoisted up on his shoulder. I do not see that, but let me know if you guys do. Most of these supposed Bigfoot photos were taken around Avocado Lake. But also, most of his shots are pretty blurry, making it tough to really make out what's going on. The fuzziness surely doesn't help when you're trying to figure out if it's legit or not. Based on what we can see and what he said, while it's intriguing, the lack of clear images does make it hard to fully buy into this story. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Well, speaking of not being able to fully buy into something, what do we think about this? I mean, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. This is obviously a gigantic Bigfoot-like creature. But something about it seems off. If this was on a trail cam, maybe, but the camera is following the Bigfoot, which leads us to believe that the person is there. And also, doesn't this Bigfoot look a little too clean? I always picture the hair more matted and dirty. I don't know. Late one night, a guy decided to check out a bridge near his house that's got quite the eerie reputation. It's said to be haunted with loads of spooky stories about ghostly voices, creepy creatures, and weird visions. So this guy went out one night to see if the bridge really was as spooky as people say. Of course he was going to film it, and immediately it seems like it is. He's wandering around when suddenly he hears this odd noise. He whips his camera to the left and there's this creepy thin creature on the rocks under the bridge. It's moving on all fours, just about crawling. The guy dips out, not sticking around to figure out what this thing is. When people caught wind and saw the video, a bunch thought it might be a notorious cryptid known as the Rake. I'm sure many of you know, but the Rake is a wicked entity said to hunt humans, and it's known for its gaunt, pale-like look and long, clawed hands. Almost exactly what the video showed. But your guess is as good as mine. Is this really the Rake, or is this just someone messing around? I don't know. The older I get, the more I realize the world's a big place with lots of mysteries. This next video brings a whole new meaning to protection dogs. These German Shepherds have upped the game to new heights. In Wayne County, Ohio, a resourceful farmer has harnessed the power of these remarkable dogs not only to safeguard his livestock and land, but also to ward off a peculiar threat: his sheep's appetite for his precious crops. Check out this footage of these German Shepherds standing as guardians, defending the fields from the same sheep they're there to protect. If you watch closely, you'll witness a masterclass in canine communication. Through their body language alone, these dogs demonstrate a commitment to their task. With swift precision, they nudge and guide the sheep away, instinctively protecting the precious crops. I mean, who needs a fence when you have dogs like these? Very, very impressive work right here. This discovery caught on camera as nutty. While exploring his newly acquired land, a farmer stumbled upon a remarkably well-preserved corpse that bore an uncanny resemblance to a monkey. However, there shouldn't be any monkeys here. Intrigued and seeking answers, he carefully transported the preserved remains in a glass case. This discovery left everyone in town bewildered. Either this monkey-like creature was from outer space, or it's an undeveloped animal that met a tragic fate soon after birth. Hoping for insights, local museum archaeologists closely examined the unusual specimen. Their findings added to the mystery. The creature appeared akin to a monkey, yet its skin had an uncommon leathery texture. It defied the norms of any known monkey species. Furthermore, the body exhibited a stiff firmness, the exact opposite of the flexibility typically associated with primates. Unfortunately, the puzzle deepened, leaving experts and curious minds perplexed. Was this monkey-like creature a sign of extraterrestrial life? Or was it something more common that met a tragic fate that rendered it uniquely preserved? Who knows? The farmer's quest for answers hasn't gotten far, but it has opened the doors to the understanding that stretches beyond the boundaries of known science. These next pictures and story are from a viewer named Jesse in the Florida Everglades. Jesse owned a small property that butted up against the vast expanse of the Everglades. He was an avid outdoorsman, always eager to explore the mysteries hidden within the swamplands. One day, while reviewing the footage from one of his trail cameras, a chilling sight grabbed his attention. There, amidst the dense foliage, appeared an unknown creature. Its long, stringy hair, a peculiar blend of gray and brown, hung down in disheveled strands. The creature's eyes, a piercing yellow, glowed in the darkness like fiery embers. But what struck Jesse most was its dog-like snout, adorned with big teeth ready to snap shut in an instant. Curiosity piqued, Jesse's mind raced with questions. What was this mysterious being lurking on the edges of his property? Was it a creature of legend, an ancient dweller of the Everglades, or something entirely new and undiscovered? Determined to uncover the truth, he embarked on a quest to capture further evidence of this elusive creature. Equipped with his trail camera and a sense of anticipation, Jesse set out into the depths of the Everglades. As he navigated the murky marshlands, he could sense an otherworldly energy hanging heavy in the air. The sounds of the usual creatures echoed through the trees, heightening the ambiance around him. Days turned into nights, and nights bled into early mornings as Jesse patiently set up his trail camera in strategic locations. He had his bag of food in his tent. He meticulously scouted the landscape, searching for traces of the puzzling creature. Each passing day only fueled his determination to shed light on this fascinating mystery. Weeks went by and he headed home. Filled with anticipation and endless hours of footage, Jesse reviewed and reviewed. The Everglades seemed to hold its secrets tightly, teasing Jesse with glimpses of creatures he already knew of. Then, one stormy night as thunder rumbled overhead, the last trail camera captured a defining moment. The mysterious creature emerged from the shadows, its long, stringy hair clinging to its hunched form. Its yellow eyes gleamed with an otherworld intensity as it prowled through the dense vegetation. The creature seemed aware of the camera's presence, a glimmer in its eyes, and a snarl for the camera. For as big as it was, it moved with an uncanny grace, effortlessly navigating the thick terrain. Jesse watched in awe as the creature's powerful jaws snapped shut. The sight of this creature both fascinated and unnerved Jesse. He realized that he was witness to an ancient predator, an embodiment of nature's primal instincts. It was a creature that had adapted and survived in the unforgiving Everglades, hidden from human eyes for who knows how long. In that moment, Jesse realized the significance of his discovery. This creature represented the untamed essence of the Everglades, a reminder of the wild and untamed beauty that thrived just beyond the edges of civilization. With newfound respect for the wilderness, Jesse decided to keep the creature's existence a secret. He understood the delicate balance between preserving the unknown and protecting the wonders of the Everglades. And so, the man and the mysterious creature continued their separate journeys through the Florida Everglades for 20 years. Jesse never spoke of this creature until recently. He has sent these pictures and story in hopes that someone can help identify the creature. The world awaits, ready to unveil the secrets that lie within the depths of the untamed Everglades. This brief clip is not for the faint of heart, as it captures a truly insane moment. Now, imagine the shock that gripped the two Forest Department officials as they trailed behind a group of bikers. Out of the dense brush, without warning, a massive tiger sprang forth, unleashing an explosive burst of speed tearing at the men. Thankfully, this pursuit lasted only mere seconds as the tiger veered off. The sheer intensity of the encounter left everyone breathless, a chilling reminder of the raw power in the untamed animal kingdom and how helpless you can be in the blink of an eye. Okay, picture this scenario. You switch on your air conditioner, seeking relief from the sweltering heat, only to be confronted with a spine-chilling sight. In the southern port city of Guangzhou, China, a resident experienced a moment of sheer bewilderment. As we can see from the video, this is beyond scary. A snake emerging from the depths of the AC unit after lying in wait for this rat. The snake, after his unbelievable descent to snatch a live rat, skillfully propelled itself back into the AC unit. In a state of disbelief, most likely like the rest of us, the man quickly grabbed his camera to document this kill. All the while, the snake calmly slinks back into its hidden home, most likely planning to eat that rat directly over the man's bed. That is creepy. Look, I'm from a small town in the country and I grew up being told to never kill snakes around your house because they were free vermin control, but this snake slithering out of this AC unit has unlocked a brand new level of fear for me. Honestly, I don't like mice, I don't like rats or snakes, so I'm just going to be grateful that this isn't going on in my house. But let me know if you guys have seen anything like this inside a house, because this is nuts. A pretty crazy mystery coming out of the Rio Grande Valley has people scratching their heads. Caught on this camera footage is an unknown critter. It has 4 legs, seems to be lurking deep in the woods, and I can't quite pinpoint what it is. At first glance, it looks like a wolf carrying some type of prey, perhaps, and running away as if something was hot on its heels. But here's the thing. Wolves aren't known to roam these parts, they say. So despite all the theories that have been thrown around, nobody can really put their finger on what in the world this creature is. We see it on this path, but in the blink of an eye, it's vanished into the bushy darkness, leaving everyone on high alert and more questions than answers. Let me know in the comments if you have any idea what this might be. Is it an unidentified creature, or are my eyes playing tricks on me and it's just something really, really simple? A group of friends witnessed something extraordinary. A massive humanoid figure perched on a cliff. Aware that they had stumbled upon a scene reminiscent of a sci-fi movie, one of them attempted to zoom in on the mysterious being. However, the considerable distance made capturing a clear image nearly impossible. But the fact that the entity could be seen from such a great distance only added to the spine-chilling experience. Some speculate that the figure was a genuine hybrid, part alien and part human, caught on camera. Others dismiss it as merely a bear. Later on, the friends returned to the site where they had seen the creature, and the situation took an unexpected twist. It was gone. If it was just a tree, where was it? And also, if it truly was a creature, where was he heading next? On a hiking expedition, a group of friends stumbled upon an unusual sight captured in their drone footage. A strange creature seemed to materialize out of thin air, slinking out from the trees and into the camera's view. The footage found its way to social media, sparking a flurry of conjecture about the creature's identity. Some theories are that it could be a skinwalker, while others propose it might be a mutated wild animal. Yet, the true nature of the creature remains a mystery. The friends, equally confused by their unexpected encounter, are curious to hear other people's interpretations. If you have any insights or ideas, let me know what you think about this. During a hike in the deserts of Arizona, an astonishing encounter with a snake shed light on a fascinating phenomenon. A man stumbled upon a copperhead snake that someone had tried to kill. What amazed him was that, despite being decapitated, the snake appeared astonishingly alive. Very carefully, he pushed the snake's head and body near each other, in a pile of sorts. All of a sudden, the snake, driven by instinct, started biting its own body, as if it were a predator. This incident raises two intriguing facts about snakes. Firstly, whether alive or dead, snakes can be equally deadly. Their venomous bite remains potent, stressing the caution necessary when encountering them. Secondly, snakes possess a remarkable biological trait. Even after their demise, their bite reflexes persist for several hours. This unique characteristic allows them to continue their predatory actions, even in the absence of vital functions. The incident in Arizona serves as a vivid reminder of the resilience of these reptiles. On June 22nd of 2016, Oak Ridge, New Jersey residents were captivated by an influx of extraordinary bear sightings. Reports were flooding in about bears that defied nature's norms, gracefully strolling on their hind legs. Come to find out, all of the reports were actually of the same bear. And the reason this bear was on its hind legs was that he was recovering from a severe front limb injury, and the bear actually doesn't walk on all fours ever anymore. He's adapted to this unique gait. Once everyone settled down, the bear earned the charming nickname Petals, swiftly becoming a sensation on social media. Local wildlife experts were called in, and reassuringly they determined Petals to be harmless. Of course, they cautioned residents on any interaction, basically saying, "It is still a bear, you know." It seems as though Petals has unveiled the secret to efficiency, all the while reminding us that even amidst challenges, nature finds a way to adapt in awe. Now, I have seen this picture a few times, and honestly I thought it was fake, but perhaps there is some merit to it. This image has captured the attention of audiences across the internet. A greenish, blue-eyed creature with haunting features. I mean, this thing ignited intrigue and speculation. Some saw a rabid canine, tormented by the disease that unleashes aggression and occasional delusions. Some victims even hallucinate and lash out. Others focused on its hairless body, believing they had stumbled upon a chupacabra, which most know, but that's a legendary beast notorious for blood-sucking and goat-slaying. There were whispers that this image might be connected to the creature responsible for the farmer's ordeal in Texas, the one where he was searching for his entire farm of missing cattle. Nevertheless, despite numerous theories, the true identity of the creature in this image remains unknown. It looks to be some sort of canine. If I had to guess, it would be just a dog with mange. I don't know. If any of you know any more about this picture, I'd be interested. In the heartland of Kansas, a couple, plagued by unexplained disturbances in the dead of night, took matters into their own hands. Installing a network of trail cameras, they sought to uncover the source of their unease. Little did they know, their search would plunge them into a nightmarish realm. As they anxiously reviewed the captured footage, their blood ran cold. Out of nowhere, an enormous, unknown hand snatched one of their cameras and vanished into the darkness. And that camera was never found. However, the surviving cameras unveiled a horrifying truth. A creature, reminiscent of a werewolf, prowled under the cover of night. At first, they figured it was a bear, or at most a regular wolf. However, as they delved deeper into the evidence, they were left with no choice but to confront a terrifying reality. The figure roaming their property was the embodiment of a fearsome werewolf. Fear began to consume their thoughts as the descriptions matched, leaving little room for doubt. What they had witnessed defied rational explanation. Now, each passing night would bring anxiety as they wondered what lurked beyond the darkness. The line between myth and reality blurred, and the couple was left to face the chilling truth that creatures of nightmares do exist, even in the seemingly tranquil landscapes of Kansas. This Eagle Cam has captured some amazing footage off the coast of Southern California, more specifically the west end of Catalina Island. As it rolls, we see a bald eagle in its nest, about to settle in for the night. 91, the number on its wing tag is just used for tracking purposes. Out of nowhere, this sly fox creeps over the side of the nest, undoubtedly hoping for mom and dad to not be home and a shot at some of these free eggs. Well, not today. Mama Eagle stands up, spreading her wings as an intimidation tactic. It works for the time being and the fox retreats. This is a pretty cool part. We can see her start calling for her mate. Check this out. He shows up pretty quickly to the distress calls. First of all, meaning he's a very smart man. But secondarily, it just is really cool to see how they work together. Now, let's be clear on a few things. This fox is not after the eagle. A full-grown male fox stands no chance against an eagle. None. Zero. He was after the eggs. Also, in regards to the ease in which the fox gets to the nest, these eagles have made a home on the side of a cliff, not high up in a tree like normal. The video clip eventually ends with no other sightings of the fox, but it's an awesome up-close look at the dangers lurking in the night in the wild. Awesome footage here taken in the frozen plains as we see some badgers and coyotes. 2 badgers and 4 coyotes to be exact. Now, what most people probably think, myself included, is that we were going to see a battle. But no, these guys are actually hunting prairie dogs together. Coyotes and badgers are known to form unlikely alliances to hunt prairie dogs and other burrowing rodents. It's a phenomenon well documented by biologists. This particular partnership between 2 seemingly contrasting species is known as mutualistic hunting. It's based on the unique hunting strengths of each animal and the ability to flush out prey more efficiently together than alone. Coyotes are quick and nimble, well suited to chase and catch prairie dogs running on the surface to escape. On the other hand, badgers are adept diggers, able to follow and dig out prairie dogs that retreat underground into their burrow systems. By hunting together, they can cover both escape routes effectively, increasing their overall chance of securing a meal. Now, despite these potential benefits, it's important to note that this cooperative behavior is not always observed, and in certain situations, coyotes and badgers may still act as competitors rather than partners. Nevertheless, in this video, a great partnership and amazing camera footage. In a spine-tingling video posted to Reddit by user Ryan Cooper 1337, viewers have been left questioning their perception of reality as they grapple with a combination of dread and doubt. The video, which has since boomed on the internet, has amassed hundreds of thousands of views and comments, stirring a significant amount of intrigue within the online community. Take a look. The clip titled "When Living Alone" shows the person holding the camera recording a child's giggling as they peep out from behind a corner. As the camera moves closer to the source of the laughter, the child seems to evaporate into thin air. Complicating matters further, the front door starts to thump violently, and the spooky laughter echoes once again. This footage ignited a fiery debate among the viewers, with the majority consensus agreeing that the footage is unquestionably eerie, but probably too perfect to be genuine. Skeptics contended that the video bears the traits of a convincingly crafted deception, utilizing skillful editing and sound effects to generate an experience. However, even the most committed doubters confessed to being unsettled by the footage. Regardless of the general agreement that the video is most likely a practical joke, its widespread appeal discloses a deeply rooted interest in the paranormal among internet users. What say you guys? What do you all think about the video? In June of 2018, a rancher shot and killed what many presume to be a real-life werewolf. DNA tests conducted on Monday confirmed that the unusual werewolf-like creature that had puzzled Montana wildlife authorities and even drawn national attention was in reality a slightly malformed female gray wolf. This creature was killed last month, and its peculiarly large head, enormous paws, and strangely shaped ears had kept the officials guessing about its identity. The creature was killed by a local rancher near Denton on May 16th. For weeks, wildlife officers were left clueless about the identity of this odd beast. Eventually, the creature's body was sent to a forensic lab in Ashland, Oregon. Here, its genetic material was matched with thousands of DNA samples collected from wolves, coyotes, and dogs. And luckily for those residents, the findings put any scary moonlit tales to rest. The unusual animal was identified as an 84.5-pound gray wolf hailing from the northern Rocky Mountains. As stated by officials, the wolf measured approximately 4 feet in length and was aged between 2 to 3 years. A geneticist from the Wildlife Service pointed out that variability can exist within species. The creature's peculiar appearance that initially puzzled experts may have been due to the angle of its photograph, which might have amplified some of its features. However, previously, in mid-May, officials argued that the creature could not be a wolf due to its relatively short canine teeth and front paws. They further added that its oversized floppy ears and dense fur were unlike any ordinary canine. The enigmatic creature sparked a plethora of theories on Twitter. Some suggested it could be a dire wolf, an extinct species of large canine that once inhabited North America, while others speculated it's a werewolf. Anyhow, mystery solved and great camera capture. Infrared trail camera footage taken from Katmai, Alaska shows the amazing hunting tactics of these bears and a few wolves. They're in a state park, and this particular part of the park closes at night. So the bears flock here because they know they can fish with less interruptions. These animals' eyes are much more well adapted to night vision than a human. The salmon also try to migrate at night to enhance their chances of survival during their perilous journey. This nighttime migration helps them avoid predators that rely on daylight for hunting. Additionally, cooler night temperatures reduce stress and preserve energy, which is vital for their long trek. Well, a few of these guys won't be so lucky. These bears are plucking them out of the river pretty easily. We finally see the first wolf show up as he wanders in at the bottom of the screen. He snatches a fish on the bank there. While the wolf and the bears act like there's enough fish to go around for the both of them, they are completely aware of each other's presence. Most definitely the wolf is. It's cool to see all the bears and the wolf there. The bears have found themselves a honey hole.
It's not until later that the wolf actually gets to go out there on the fall lip and hunt. Anyhow, this is just awesome footage here. Pets, particularly dogs, are often thought to possess heightened sensitivity towards supernatural phenomena. A belief that seems to be corroborated by a viral video shared by Reddit user known as DKit75. In this clip, we observe the family pet appearing noticeably distressed. The dog swiftly pivots and barks as if responding to a nudge from an invisible entity. You can see as the dog looks like he's pushed. He almost slides across the ground. There's nothing there, but that is very odd. The uploader alleges that this incident was not the only strange happening in their home. From the day they moved in, the family was under the impression that they might share their dwelling with an otherworldly female apparition that happened to resemble the poster and her middle daughter, especially in terms of height and dark hair color. The OP also mentions a spooky event one night where she believed she saw her daughter go into the bathroom. However, to her surprise, she found her daughter sleeping peacefully in her room when she went to check on her. After choosing to keep this eerie encounter to herself, her husband admitted that he had a similar experience the following night. He thought he saw his wife in their bedroom, but at the same time, he heard her voice and laughter coming from the kitchen. Finally, the family had had enough and decided to move out of the house. They still have the footage of the dog's unsettling experience, perhaps documenting their paranormal encounters. So what's your take on this hair-raising account? Could this family have genuinely been cohabiting with a ghostly entity? I am curious to know your thoughts on this mysterious incident. On the evening of January 16, 2023 at 10:19 p.m., an unnerving incident was captured on camera by Twitter user JXRDXNCMR. The footage, obtained from their home security system, stirred up a discussion about the paranormal and the existence of supernatural beings. The video features a strange, misty figure materializing from the left, seemingly advancing towards the house. The translucent apparition bore a striking resemblance to traditional images of ghosts, which brought about a fearful reaction from online viewers. They went nuts. Social media users quickly joined the discussion, conjecturing that the eerie figure might indeed be a spectral presence. The comment section was filled with an array of theories and interpretations. Some users even shared their personal hair-raising experiences, while others proposed more grounded explanations, suggesting that it could be a camera malfunction or optical illusion or spider web or rain. While opinions varied, the video indisputably rekindled the age-old debate on the existence of ghosts and the paranormal, a tale as old as time. Regardless of what you believe, this eerie footage is definitely a mystery. What do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments. This is a pretty cool video here. As we can see, a cat is just hanging out under this deck, most likely his normal hangout spot, when an eagle, that's right, a bald eagle, walks into his yard. The cat is just checking him out as the eagle saunters up. When the camera angle switches, we can see the bald eagle with the face on view. She's beautiful. The cat eventually comes off his perch to check the eagle out. He's walking the perimeter, trying to figure out what the eagle is doing here. The cat makes a little move toward the bird, and you can see the cat's back arch and the eagle spreads her wings. There's one final little test that the cat throws at the eagle, both respecting each other. These two just continue the stalemate for 15 minutes plus, and I won't bore you with all of that, but I'd like to know if anyone has seen this before. What this bald eagle might be doing. Was he after the cat? It didn't really look like it. Maybe it was after something else. I don't know. Drop me a comment if you have any insight. This next clip is trail camera footage uploaded by a TikTok user named cryptic. It shows a mysterious creature in the distance on a rural property. The creature caught on this trail camera is pretty unsettling, as it crawls with disproportionately long limbs and a small head. These unusual characteristics led viewers to speculate that the entity could be the infamous creature known as the Rake, a figure from modern urban legends believed to be a humanoid creature that terrorizes its victims. The Rake's origins can be traced back to the early 2000s, when stories and alleged encounters with it began circulating on various internet forums. Recent sightings of the Rake have been rare, making this new trail camera footage particularly intriguing to enthusiasts of cryptozoology. As the video started to gain popularity, the debate over its authenticity heated up. Some viewers began to question if the footage was actual evidence of the elusive Rake or merely a carefully crafted hoax, designed only to captivate the imagination of viewers. Like many cryptid sightings, the real truth behind the footage remains elusive and open to interpretation. But what do you guys think about this trail camera footage? Incredible footage here in the snow, as this lynx has his eyes fixed on a squirrel. You can see the athleticism and agility that these creatures possess. It's unbelievable. The squirrel scrambled and jumped from tree to tree to try to avoid the lynx. But alas, the lynx gets what he came for. A few more cat clips as we see a man string up some meat in hopes to lure in a lynx to catch on his trail camera. A side note is that zoos will often do this to keep their cats agile and mobile. Watch what he captured on his trail camera. That leap from the lynx. The slow motion adds to the effects, but it's just unbelievable. I probably watched that a dozen times. It's so impressive. It's amazing to see their abilities. This last clip of the lynx jumping from piling to piling, we featured in a video a few weeks ago. So nimble, incredible balance, great camera captures. This next trail camera capture is from Donnie Laws. If you don't know who that is, check his channel out. Donnie captures some really cool camera footage here, as he has 20 plus trail cameras in this region of his property. He says he's always asked if he ever catches anything weird or unexplainable on his cameras. Well, that's what we're here to see. Check this next clip out. Donnie tells us this strange orb showed up one day near dusk. He's not sure if it's some sort of reflection or an orb. The next smoky figure floating through the air he calls the ghost bird picture. This capture was a little closer to dark, but same trail camera, same spot. He says the camera's been here for over 10 years and never caught anything like this ever. Finally, he catches another orb. This time, Donnie explains that this camera's location is deep in the woods. He only has it set for movement plus 10 seconds, so he doesn't have to worry about going to change the battery. He says there's one way in and one way out. At night, this is what it picks up. Another floating orb. What do you guys make of all these orbs floating through the woods? A few months ago, we covered this animal at length. Well, we recently acquired footage of what is known to be the vampire deer. At first glance, this animal may look like an unlikely hybrid of a deer and a vampire due to its large protruding front teeth. Despite its intimidating appearance, this animal is in fact a perfectly healthy specimen of a species known as the Chinese water deer. Don't be fooled by its somewhat monstrous facade. These creatures are entirely normal within their species. Their remarkable tusk-like front teeth, which could easily be mistaken for vampire fangs, are a distinctive characteristic common to all Chinese water deer. Native to China and Korea, the Chinese water deer is a small herbivorous mammal often found inhabiting wetlands and grasses near lakes and rivers. Though smaller in size than average deer, their fangs certainly pack a punch. As to why evolution favored the development of fangs over antlers in these creatures remains a mystery. They are also protected in their home countries, hunting them is strictly prohibited. But capturing these elusive vampire deer on a trail camera is actually incredibly rare. They are very elusive, and their preference for habitats are far from human interaction. Nevertheless, it's awesome to see the diverse and peculiar species that share our world. The Alibi, also known as the Central Asian Shepherd Dog, is one of the oldest dog breeds. Its origins trace back to regions in Central Asia, specifically areas around Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan. It is said that this breed has existed for over 4,000 years. They are primarily used as livestock guardians, using their considerable size, strength, and courageous disposition to protect sheep from predators such as wolves and bears. Physically, alibis are large, robust, and muscular. They can weigh anywhere from 80 to 220 pounds depending on the sex. Despite their formidable appearance and guarding capabilities, alibis are known for their calm, balanced, and independent nature, demonstrating loyalty and protective instinct towards their families. Like many livestock guardian dogs, they were bred to deter predators. Their main role isn't necessarily to fight these large predators, but to act as a deterrent. They use their bark and aggressive posture to make predators think twice before approaching. They rely more on courage, their protective instinct, and intimidation tactics rather than their physical power to do their job. The Kangal is another breed of livestock guardian dog, which originates from Turkey, known for its impressive size, strength, speed, and protective instincts. The Kangal are regarded as one of the strongest and toughest breeds in terms of their ability to perform the task for which they were bred, protecting livestock from large predators like wolves and bears. Physically, Kangals are very powerful. They are large, muscular dogs with a broad head and strong jaws. Despite their size, they can reach speeds up to 30 miles per hour. Moreover, their bite force is one of the highest among any dog breed. It measures over 700 pounds per square inch. Their physical prowess, coupled with their protective nature, make them incredibly effective as guardian dogs. Like the Alibi, the Kangals are known for their bravery, loyalty, and independence. They are calm and controlled, but when they perceive a threat to their flock or their family, they spring into action quickly and decisively. And it doesn't usually end well for the predator. Let me know what you think of these two guardian livestock dogs. I added this because of the real life footage of them in action was very impressive. A great clip here from a lady on safari in Africa. The video speaks for itself, but man, look at how strong that zebra looks. You can see the muscles bulging, its big, thick legs. It's kind of cool to see another animal escaping an apex predator. Let's watch it again. This next clip and story are crazy. This relationship begins during a jungle expedition, where a woman stumbles upon an injured python. Deciding to rescue it, she nursed it back to health, ignoring the potential legal and safety risks associated with harboring such a creature. She bought a terrarium and nourished the snake with a diet of dead mice. As time passed, she formed a deep attachment to the python, even sleeping with it by her side, relishing its company and warmth. Despite its carnivorous nature, the snake seemed to display a tender affection. One day things got a little weird. The snake would watch the lady shower, but as soon as she was finished, she would dry off and they would go back to their business. One day, however, she began to worry when the python stopped eating. Concerned, she sought help from a vet specializing in wild animals. The vet then unveiled a startling truth. The python had been abstaining from food to prepare for a very sizable meal, and unfortunately, the snake's owner was on the menu. It had been sizing her up during those shared nights, sleeping next to her, stretching its stomach out, waiting till it grew to a size that could handle a prey that big. To backtrack a little bit, the python had outgrown its terrarium, so it had free reign of the house. The vet dropped another bomb on her and basically said that the entire house has become the snake's terrarium and you've become its prey. Fortunately, the looming disaster was averted in time. The woman understood that the python needed to return to its natural habitat, if not anywhere but inside her house. With the assistance of a non-governmental organization, she sadly bid her unique pet farewell as they reintroduced it back into the jungle. Although her heart ached from the loss, the woman found solace in knowing that her story had a safer and more natural conclusion. Yeah, you didn't die. This story is just incredible to me. I mean, these snakes are so strong, she would have no chance to get away from this thing if it locked onto her. I find it incredibly eerie that the snake was watching her in the shower, but even more so that it was sizing her up in bed, waiting to the moment that it was big enough to be able to take her down. Anyhow, I'd love to hear any more stories like this if you guys have any personal experience. I thought this was amazing. Just an absolutely incredible capture here in Africa. A couple captured the moment a gazelle ferociously swam for its life from a hungry crocodile. The bystanders are all cheering for the gazelle while the croc closes in. And just when you think it's all she wrote, the gazelle kicks up and actually catches the croc right on the chin, which does just enough for the gazelle to get away. I mean, it really was this guy's day. Had he not swam like his life depended on it, he would have never made it to the shallow water where you see he was able to use the ground to spring up and kick the croc away from him. Man, it's cool to see when adrenaline takes over and you push your body to the limits what you can do. Just an awesome camera capture. This photograph and video captured in Texas on June 15th of 2021 shows a massive creature that bears a striking resemblance to a werewolf. This beast was reportedly brought down by a coalition of farmers and hunters. Prior to this event, the farmers had been experiencing a significant loss of their livestock daily, leading them to seek a permanent solution to their predicament. Once they successfully subdued the creature, one of the farmers managed to film the werewolf-like entity, which appeared to be gasping its last breaths. The creature was imposing, standing over 7 feet tall and covered in thick hair. Its claws resembled those of a typical carnivorous wild animal, and it had unusually large, flat feet. Certainly engaging this type of enormous and powerful beast would be akin to flirting with death. While this is incredible footage and this werewolf to me looks real, it's crucial to approach these things with a degree of skepticism. It's possible the farmers encountered a large and unfamiliar animal. There's no scientific evidence that this is an actual werewolf. Misidentifications of known creatures or hoaxes are not uncommon. Many skeptics have attacked the credibility of the sources and the quality of the provided evidence. One said, and I quote, "Until further verifiable proof is presented, this Texas werewolf remains a fascinating tale of mystery." What say you guys? I don't know, it looks real to me. In February of 2013, several residents of a northern Oregon neighborhood reported odd sounds emanating from the surrounding forest. The auditory phenomena were described as resembling uncanny laughter, ringing loudly and reverberating throughout the vicinity of the houses. A couple teenagers, obviously intrigued by these occurrences, decide to venture outside, tracing the source of the strange noises, and they began recording. Check it out. The origin and nature of these eerie sounds spurred a fair amount of speculation among the community. A common hypothesis proposed that the noises could be attributed to foxes or coyotes, as these creatures are known to produce diverse and sometimes unusual vocalizations. However, some residents disagreed with this theory, arguing that the sounds of coyotes, for instance, would be characterized by a more canine-like shriek, and wouldn't typically reach the same volume as the noise they were hearing. Although the fox or coyote theory is plausible, there's also a possibility that the sound could be from a different animal entirely, or perhaps even a non-animal source. More naysayers said that certain bird species like owls can make a range of calls that might be mistaken for laughter, or the wind whistling through the trees or certain types of terrain. I don't know, it doesn't sound like that to me. Despite all of these assumptions, the true source of the noise that night remains uncertain. This incident serves as a reminder of the mysteries that can still be found in our natural world, and the importance of approaching them with curiosity and an open mind. One chilly evening in the dense forests of Georgia, a trail camera owned by a man named Mike captured an image that sent shivers down the spines of those who saw it. The creature it caught was a nightmarish figure, something that seemed to have stepped out from the pages of a horror novel or the depths of a fever dream. The beast was on all fours, its long, stringy hair matted and unruly, covering most of its body. The face was a stark contrast, bearing dry, leathery skin that crinkled around a grotesque pig-like snout. Two canine teeth jutted upwards from the lower jaw, giving the creature an even more menacing appearance. Its eyes were hazy and glazed over, lending it a sickly, near-death aura. However, the piercing quality of those eyes suggested a level of intelligence and a haunting eeriness that made one question its mortality. Atop its head were dog-like ears, which, despite the creature's overall disarray, were sharply perked as if on alert. Mike, an avid outdoorsman and cryptid enthusiast, was both petrified and thrilled by the discovery. The image spread like wildfire among the local community, igniting fervent debates over what the creature could possibly be. Many suggested that it could be a severely malnourished and ill wild boar, given its snout and skin condition. The long, stringy hair could also be explained by a severe case of mange, a skin disease caused by parasitic mites that is known to affect wild animals. The upward-pointing canines are a feature seen in some boar species, and the creature's hazy eyes could potentially indicate an advanced stage of illness. Yet, despite these plausible explanations, Mike believes the creature to be something far more otherworldly. A werewolf, dogman, or some other form of cryptid. The creature's hazy eyes and dog-like ears give it a somewhat canine appearance, a character often associated with creatures like werewolves or the elusive dogman. Mike's belief and photo was further fueled by the local lore of cryptids inhabiting the Georgian wilderness, stories passed down through generations. While skeptics have been quick to dismiss these claims, the uncanny nature of the creature's appearance, its sickly demeanor, and its presence in an area steeped in cryptid lore have fed into the air of mystery surrounding the photograph, even for those who don't believe in cryptids. The image serves as a stark reminder of nature's ability to astonish and terrify us. Whether this ghastly figure is a creature of myth or a severely ill animal, the truth remains elusive. However, one thing is for sure. The image has added another layer to the rich tapestry of local lore, and has sparked renewed interest in the mysteries that may lurk in the unexplored corners of the Georgian wilderness. Let me know what you guys think of this trail cam capture. I mean, this thing is gruesome. What in the world is this? I don't even know. I feel like it could be a boar. I just don't know. Let me know if you guys have any ideas.